Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrathmaulana, which took place on Tuesday at about 9:30 a.m. Tuesday, the 1st of Rajab, 1444, corresponding with the English date 24th of January 2023. Hazratwala opens up, and what is it? The Taaleem of Hazrat Tanvi regarding Nisbat-e-Batini, spiritual affiliation. And then he goes on to say that Alamat-e-Nisbat-e-Batini ke hasil hone ki do hai, that there are two signs which indicate the acquisition of Nisbat-e-Batini, the spiritual affiliation, attachment, connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. एक ये है कि अल्लाह की याद दिल में ऐसी जम जावे कि किसी दम दिल से दूर न हो और अल्लाह की तरफ ज़्यादा कोशिश और फिक्र रखने की ज़रूरत न पड़े. Allahu Akbar. So, the one sign of this affiliation and this nisbat-e-batini is that Allah's remembrance becomes so firmly embedded in the heart that it does not leave the heart for a single moment. Furthermore, the person does not need to overexert himself in trying to remain focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What type of occupation and mashghuliyats are coming one after the other, ek se ek mashghuliyat, and then aish and ishrat, we're doing this and we're doing that, and this type of comfort and this type of luxury we want, etc. A person can't have sabr from his family and his wife. How is it that he has sabr from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Hazrat Khaja Muhammad Masoom used to say that I am surprised and amazed at those people. How are they living if or when they do not have muhabbat and the love of Allah in their hearts? Those who do not have the love of Allah in their hearts, I'm actually astonished about them. How are they living? So this perpetual remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it becomes so firmly embedded in the heart that it does not leave the heart for a single moment. We have to make tamreen. You know, for Urdu, you have tamreen, and then you do your tamreens for Arabic. Here also, we make tamreen of these things so that it becomes so firmly embedded, the remembrance of Allah in the heart of a person, that it does not leave for a single moment. You know, I went to Lucknow. Maulana Saeedur Rahman was there and I spoke. He was absolutely elated and he was affected of what I had to say. And what did he say? He said that you must continue coming. You must make a separate program only for Lucknow. I spoke about Al-Hubbu Asasi, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, my foundation is based on love. And then I went on to say to them, what can we say about that structure, that building that comes up upon which the foundation of that building is love? What can we say about that building and that structure? Allahu Akbar. And I went on to say to them that it was such ittifaq and Allah wished that I be with these two buzrugs and their complete life and their ta'aleem was on that of muhabbat and love. I also told them about the kitab Rahmatul Lil Alameen, which Hazrathmaulana Ali Mia Sahab said to his mother, and his mother had no money to buy that particular kitab, Rahmatul Lil Alameen. And then she makes arrangements and she purchases that for this son of hers. And the person who has not read that particular kitab, his ilm is not complete, is defective, naqis, meaning this kitab is such a wonderful kitab. It speaks about the specialities and the khususiyat, the salient features of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his characteristics, and the salient characteristics and features of our deen, the deen of Islam. We are all the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Tanwi also passed, and the people before him, and they were also the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these people achieved and reached perfection, etc. Now we could not do that. Should we not cry upon that? Should we not think for a moment that we stayed in the wombs of our mothers? I went on to say to them, the muhabbatullahi ala qismain, the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be divided into two categories, faradun wa nudubun, that which is farad and that which is optional. And I went on to say to them that this ibarat that I am quoting to you is not from any tasawwuf kitab, it is not from any fiqh kitab, rather it is the ibarat of the traditionist, the narrator of hadith, Allama ibn Hajar. It is in his kitab, the Fathul Bari. Okay, so let's continue with speaking about the two signs which indicate the acquisition of spiritual affiliation and nisbat-e batini. So number one is Allah's remembrance and dhikr becomes so firmly embedded in the heart that it does not leave the heart for a single moment. Furthermore, the person does not need to overexert himself in trying to remain focused to Allah. That's how firmly embedded it is in his heart. The second one is that he has the desire to carry out Allah's order, irrespective of whether they are related to teaching him how to worship Allah, how to conduct his dealings with fellow humans, how to develop good habits, how to interact with people, or how to behave in all types of situations. Now, mu'amalat, this is something very important. And how do we interact with people? How do we behave in different situations? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the masjid. An ordinary simple Bedouin comes about, makes his arrival, enters, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam starts dragging himself, pushing himself, making way for this Bedouin, and he says, "Oh Nabi of Allah, but there's so much of space." And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says to him, "Should I not even make that amount of harakat for the person who has iman in his heart?" Allahu Akbar. So will this type of ta'aleem, would you get it in the college? This year you will get in the madrasa. This type of ta'aleem you will get in the khanqah. Another one is adabul mu'asharat. Our adabul mu'asharat, we're speaking about how to behave in all situations, how to interact with people, how to develop good habits, how to conduct dealings with fellow people. So the person must be so desirous of carrying out those orders as he has a desire for good things, and he must detest evil actions as he detests bad things. Furthermore, worldly greed must come out of his heart, and all his habits must be in line with the Quran. However, if he experiences a natural laziness in carrying out an order, or an evil whispering enters his heart, or he does not even act upon it, we will not say that he has developed a desire to carry out we will not say that he has not developed a desire to carry out the injunctions of the Shariat and a hatred for what it has prohibited. We will not say that. Acquiring this level of Allah's remembrance and obedience to Him is referred to the acquisition of Nisbat-e Batini. You have acquired this spiritual affiliation. It is known as the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If together with spiritual affiliation, the person starts to receive some knowledge of the unseen in his heart and learns certain mysteries, then he will be referred to as an arif. Now, once spiritual affiliation has been acquired, there is no objection to teaching, delivering lectures, writing kitabs, In fact, serving dini knowledge is a most superior form of ibadat. If the person's sheikh permits him to induct murids and to show them different forms of dhikr and other spiritual practices, he must not be miserly in conveying these benefits to Allah's servants. At the same time, he must not consider himself to be superior. Instead, he must believe himself to be a servant of the creation. If his sheikh does not permit him to do this, he must never assume the audacity of doing it, nor should he ask his sheikh the permission, because this amounts to hankering after prominence. If the sheikh gives him permission after he has asked for it, then this concession and permission is of no benefit. In fact, it is better for him to remain small than to become great. At the same time, it is not good to disobey the sheikh after he issues the permission. If one were to decline the permission, this entire system of Sufism would cease to exist. Now, a sheikh should never expect, listen to this carefully, a sheikh should never expect any monetary benefit from his murids. In fact, if a person offers anything at the time of becoming a murid, the sheikh must flatly decline it, because it appears to be a recompense. If at any other time a murid gives something happily from his lawful earning, and an amount which will not cause him any distress, then it will be a sunnah to accept the gift. Refusing the gift in such a situation will result in breaking the heart of a Muslim and smack of ingratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if the gift is small. If the murid offers the gift in the presence of others, the sheikh must not feel ashamed to accept it, because this shame stems from pride. It stems from pride. Now, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at every given point in time. Allah Ta'ala ki yaad har haal mein. Allahu hadiri, Allahu nadiri. Allah is present with me all the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching me. We speaking, we listening, Allah is listening. Allah is recording all of this. Allah is aware of it. Ma yalfidhu min qawlin illa ladayhi raqibun atid. He does not utter a word except that there is a stern guard, the angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is recording all of this. Not only understanding all of this here, we should make amal on it. Not only making amal on it, rather we should work towards getting these gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, we used to say that, like, you would not find this at the door or the shop of the mitai shop. Mitai ki dukaan par ye nahi milegi. You won't find this there. And they would say also, farmate the ke do dukaan mein, you would find this at two shops back in the day. One was that shop of Hazrathmaulana Fadlur Rahman Ganj Muradabadi, and the other one was that of Hazrat Shah Muhammad Afaq. It is there at those shops where this type of wealth is distributed. And we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah does not disgrace us. Hazrathmaulana Sayyidul Rahman was there, and he heard this year. He was completely taken aback. He was overwhelmed. In fact, he even took that blanket and he handed it over to me, saying that this is a common gift which is taken from Lucknow. Take this gift from our side. Nevertheless, Allah Ta'ala blessed them. And these type of ta'aleem that we just learned this today about nisbat-e batini and the signs of this nisbat-e batini, this spiritual affiliation. Sometimes we forget about this here. So Allah Ta'ala bless us with this nisbat batini and the spiritual affiliation and connection with Him. And the famous sentence of the Mashayikh in Naqshbandiya, their famous kalima and wird that they make, Ilahi maqsood man tuhi wa rizai tu muhabbat wa ma'rifat khud bidah. Oh Allah, my maqsood, my goal and my objective is only you and your pleasure. Therefore, oh Allah, bless me with your love and your recognition. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.